Hello, I'm Chiman Cheche. Today at lesson 6, I'm going to divide this lesson into 3 short videos. So it's easy for you to understand and to absorb. And also it's also good for a quick reference. So for the first part, we are going to learn how to identify the answer box in Chimantunja chart and also the asker box, the person who asked the questions. Second, we are going to do a chart reading technique. Chimantunja has certain protocols that we have to follow. So we are going to learn more about the technique. The third one, we are going to learn about identifying the symbols to look for when it comes to matters such as in the marriage and relationship. So don't be alarmed. We are going to go slow so you can understand better. So let's start with the first one, how to identify the answer box and asker box. The hour stamp is where we find the answer. And the hour stamp also refers to anyone who is a junior, children for example, subordinate, client, product, and guest as well. While the day stamp is referring to the person who asks the questions or the host. So depending on the questions, right, you have to be able to identify the asker. How about the month stamp? Month stamp refers to someone or people who are of the same rank. For example, sibling, colleague, and friends. Year stamp is where we can find those who are seniors, elderly, or people of the higher authority or higher management. So just remember the order. I would like you to refer to this chart. This is what we call as the Fuyin chart. Fuyin chart refers to something that is long, painful, or draggy. So when it comes to Fuyin charts, you can expect that everything is going to be slow, in fact almost no movement at all. How do we know that this is a Fuyin chart? Fuyin chart is when the heaven stamp and the earth stamp are of the same symbols. For example, Wu and Wu, Ren and Ren, Keng and Keng. So when you see this kind of chart, you will know this is a Fuyin chart. Just see the heaven stamp and the earth stamp of the same one. You need to know also when it comes to the horse sign. Horse sign means unstable or overseas or run away in the case of relationship. How about this symbol? This symbol, like 0, means emptiness. Emptiness is something that has changed or no more valid. When you see this emptiness happen to be in the answer box, usually the energy in this box is low, as low as 20 to 30%. When you see this sign, emptiness, in the answer box, you will need to refer it to the opposite box, which is this box. but this is only applicable for the answer box. The opposite box, the energy is usually higher. It's about 60 to 70%. So when it comes to concluding for the answers, you will need to consider both boxes. 0 or emptiness in the asker box, for example, is referring to the character of that person. Something is wrong with that person usually, or that person is not ready, whether it is financially, emotionally, or mentally. It could also mean someone who cannot be trusted. So, in the chart, Chimantunja chart, when you see a box full or more or less have red colors, it usually means good indicators. For example, this box. But of course, you will have to look at the box holistically as well. Another chart I want you to have a look is this chart. This is a Fan-Yin chart. Fan-Yin chart is the opposite of Fu-Yin chart. If Fu-Yin chart is a long, painful and draggy, Fan-Yin chart is exactly the opposite, which is fast, flip-flop, changes in just a blink of eye. How do we know that this is a Fan-Yin chart? Fan-Yin chart is when the heaven stem and the earth stem are the opposite. Is the same as in the opposite box, but of different order. So for example, Wu and Xin, the opposite box is Xin and Wu. Geng and Ji, the opposite box is Ji and Geng. So when you see this Fan-Yin chart, you will know it's going to be fast and almost uncontrolled. So that will be all for the first video. Let's go to the second video.